every one of us feeling stuck sometimes, and this video is gonna be exactly about how to start feeling unstuck, how to find the purpose, how to start feeling this organic flow, that place in life when you feel nurtured, when you feel that you're on the right path. My name is Paula, I'm CEO New Sutras, and today is just a pure rush here because I'm personally going in my life through the moments when I'm getting really close to my honesty. I'm getting so close to feel what my heart really wants, why I'm here, and every second becomes matter. Every second that I'm investing into something that doesn't serve me is matters, and now it feels even sharper than before. For instance, before I could do things that are not serving me and it would be easier, I could just separate it, but right now it is very important, I guess, for all of us in the times that we're moving in. It is important to really listen to what our heart wants, because every single person who come in here in this earth having certain gifts, certain talents. Every one of us have them. Sometimes it's hard to trust to those gifts. Are those gifts gonna help us to sustain our life on the level that we deserve? Is it safe? Is it vulnerable or not vulnerable enough? Because it is easier to do things that you are not attaching to than the things that is really dear to your heart. So the first part, what we can experience is vulnerability. Am I going to be rejected with my ideas or what I'm doing? Am I going to be received well or not? And those things may stop us from moving on towards the things that are really serving our heart. My experience, I've been wearing a lot of hats in my life. I've been doing different things, not just yoga and wellness. I've been working with people, consulting people. I've been doing branding, photography, videography, artistry, modeling. And I found myself this year facing that situation when I gotta just really be honest with who I am, what I'm translating in the world, what I'm sharing with people. And the first signal, the first thing that shows me if I'm correct in what I'm feeling, what I'm doing, is actually how I feel in my heart. So if my heart is singing, if I'm receiving the energy, if I'm receiving the flow, the fire, it means I'm on the right path. If I feel depleted, if I feel tired, if I feel demotivated, it means I'm not on the right path. Because sometimes we may get confused. And the feeling is the highest truth. What I also noticed, that mind is such a huge protective mechanism that protects us from everything. It protects us from doing mistakes. It protects us from us to go in unsafe places, including our personal choices that may serve us well. And again, coming back to the feeling, I can filter if my heart feels a certain way, it means I'm correct. So the hardest part probably in this process of transition is to trust that heart feeling. Because the head will find millions of reasons not to go and not to do what the heart's saying. But head cannot principally know that is correct, because head is a very limited structure that based on what it knows, what it learned. And the heart brings us to these unknown places, to these creative adventures, and the mind is not familiar with them. And I've been catching myself pretty often feeling that I am returning to that safe space of my mind, but then my consciousness was bringing me back to my heart. And I just want to share that if you are in the same path as me, if you're feeling that your previous job or your previous relationships are not working anymore, and now it's time for you to change, and everybody thinking that you are insane, but you are literally feeling that that is the right way to go, I'm here to tell you that you're not alone and I'm supporting you. because your heart is definitely knows, and your heart is bringing you to this new place where you will feel relieved, you will feel deserved, worthy, energized, and all those things. And I see in my surrounding there is a lot of people in that transition. They need sometimes to break the things that are not serving them anymore. As you know, on a foundation that is decaying from inside, we cannot build anything that's gonna be thrive. And for that, some things needs to be broken sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes we need that elimination happen for new things to thrive. This whole video is truly about my process and about stepping into the trust. And I also want to share, because I feel like it's important for me, and I believe there is millions of people who are in the same boat, that it doesn't happen in one step. The change in life doesn't happen immediately, instantaneously. It definitely may take us some tears, some processes of cleansing, when we truly need just simply feel those emotions and those feelings and process them without getting involved. It's almost like a cleansing from the past karma, from the past patterns. They need to be awoken inside of ourselves for us to process them and for us to let them go. It's kind of the way of how our consciousness processing the information and shifting and evolving. And the pain sometimes is okay, the tears, crying is healing. A lot of times crying is healing. So if you are in a place where you need to vent and let go, provide yourself that space, because holding inside is never going to be well ended. Everything that we're holding inside is getting just transformed into the illnesses, physical suppressions, and mental breakdowns. It's so important just to let yourself vent. For me, one of the most important things in my life is movement. And movement literally shifts everything inside of you. And it's a great instrument. I'm sharing it on my channel with everyone who just really ready to step into it, because all you need to do is just literally stand up and start doing it and start moving. You see immediate shift and you see immediate difference. The movement is great to move the obstacles of the energy within the body and to help you to make right decisions. A lot of times when I felt stuck, I simply switching off my mind and I just start rolling on the floor, moving, doing yoga. I feel I need to find this connection with myself, and I can do it through my body. My body is not me, but my body is what's been given to me, and I can do that through my body. That's why I'm using movement so much in my personal life. And all of a sudden, I'm noticing that things are becoming more clear. So we all have different life paths, and I cannot tell you what is right and what is wrong, because it's so uniquely individual for every person, and you may feel exactly what you need to do in this specific moment of your life. I'm here just to support and to say, I experienced a lot of lonely moments lately, and I felt that it was almost a liberation and connection and bringing together all the pieces of myself that had been lost through this process. When I felt extremely lonely, when I felt by myself in all of those vulnerable feelings that I was experiencing. And then I started connecting with some friends of mine, and they had the same thing. And I realized it's a global thing. When people feel really lonely, they don't feel understood. And I want to tell you that this is actually okay to feel that way at this period of your life, because it's not going to be there forever. What helped me when I had that moments is to literally forgive and to receive those parts of myself that was lonely, that was offended, that was lost. I would literally mentally just go and hug, forgive, and bring together those parts of myself. And you don't need to really understand how to do it. You just set intention to bring all those parts and become whole, because when we're whole, we ultimately stop experiencing these emotions that are unpiecing us, that are putting us apart. And I see how now it gets better, in a sense that I am moving on towards a different existence, the different quality of my life. Because more whole I become, better I feel. I feel I'm my best friend, my best support. I feel that everything is there and I don't need to go anywhere else to get that friendship or love or nurture. I can give it to myself. And these times is the times of cleansing. So to have this frustration, I understand it's normal, because for so long we was forced to kind of lie to ourselves that this is what we want, and these relationships that we want, this is the house that we want. But ultimately right now, a lot of disappointment happens within our minds and hearts. It's because it's not what we actually wanted. What we'll be told we need to be happy. And now we understand inside of ourselves that we don't need all that. But we still do not understand what do we need. If we don't need that, then what do we need to actually feel happy? And that is the transition from the old self to this new, where there is no clarity. It can be confusing. I'm here in the same boat as you are. And even when from the outside, from the external, everything can look peaceful and good and beautiful, it doesn't mean that you or me going to feel the same beauty within. What's the most important is what within, is not how it looks from the outside. And we're also getting in there. We're getting in there individually and together. And it's transforming, it's getting better, but every transformation needs time, and any transformation need for us to let go for the old, and even the old us. And this is, I believe, one of the hardest things. A lot of people having the separations in their lives right now, they may be changing a partner or just leaving the families, because they understand, or jobs, the same thing, because people understand it doesn't serve them anymore, and they are not living this life with the purpose if they are going to be belonging to the same community, to the same family structure, to the same work. And when I'm saying this, I don't mean to leave your families and all that stuff, but also when we're growing, if you feel like your surrounding is damaging you and is degrading you, it is important to make a personal choice and to shift towards the solution and surrounding that's going to be fulfilling. So I know that can provoke a sense of guilt. How come can I leave my job where I worked for 10 years, the boss was loving me, or how can I leave my husband, I've been with him for 10 years, and etc. But most importantly, again, sometimes we need to make those decisions to move on and to really discover our healed, our quality selves, because nothing is forever, and even our families, our partners being given us for a certain amount of times for us to understand some parts of ourselves. And if we go on alone, the journey together, and it's nurturing us both, then it's great. But if not, it's time to let each other go, to let each other breathe. And it's also a part of growth, a part of evolution. I know it can be very vulnerable subject. I've been there many times. I personally changed 3 countries. So I left behind everything I ever built 3 times. and I started from the scratch 3 times. And it's just the countries. I'm not talking about relationships. I'm not talking about professions and workplaces. Life is like that. It's always flowing. And I'm here to share that it's important not to be afraid of this next step. It's important to connect, to share and exchange, so people don't feel lonely in these processes, because it does feel that it's just you and the whole world is just fine. And I want to say that no, the world is not fine. A lot of people just covering it up, and we're all doing it every now and then, or majority of the time. And a lot of people just don't want to face it. But ultimately, every single human being dealing with a lot of transformative processes at this point. And it's inevitable. So let's support each other and let's share. And I would love you to share in the comments of how are you feeling, because someone else may go and read your comment and get supported and inspired by it, because this is what I do. In those moments, sometimes I just go and I watch some videos when people just sharing their raw life experiences, unfiltered talks, and I can just hear and feel that I'm human and they're humans, and we're not alone in this, because this is a very vulnerable subject about which we are not really talking about. We don't know who to go with this. So share what you are going through, share how you made your decisions, share what motivated you to move yourself from being stuck to being thriving, to being powerful, self-empowered. Share those things, please, in the comments, and I will be very inspired to read those things as well, because I'm the same human as everyone else, and I have my hard days and my good days. But ultimately, I believe we're all learning how to actually be in the driving seat of how we are going through life. That's an ownership, and this is why we're learning what makes us happy and what makes us joyful, to make those choices and to make everyday life beautiful, powerful, and valuable for our hearts, for our souls. And I hope that what I just shared with you, it clicked in your heart, it resonated with you. Thank you for being with me. I'm looking forward to read your life path right now. My name is Paula. If you're not following my channel yet, I would love to connect with a lot of more people all over the world. And my subject is wellness. Everything is around wellness. The life, how we live the life, how we eat, how we train, how we practice, how we go about difficult psychological moments in life. So all of that and beyond. And of course, traveling, conscious traveling. So thank you for being with me. Thank you for connecting with me. And I am wishing you all the blessings, and I see you next episode. Bye for now.